This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to Arn. And, of course, we couldn't do it without the Hall of Famer himself, the founder of the Four Horsemen, the creator of the Spinebuster. He is AA. He is the enforcer. He is Arn Anderson. Arn, how are you, man?
I'm always good, sir, as long as I am co-hosting with you. Life is good.
I appreciate that compliment. It has been a fun year. We've sort of flip-flopped the format. We're going back to your roots, and we're breaking it down month by month. Join us today as we journey through June of 1985, and we get things kicked off with TV in Atlanta. And, man, this is a big time for you. Just to add context, it's now officially been revealed that you are not only an Anderson, but you're going to be teaming with Ole Anderson, who you grew up watching on TV as a young Georgia wrestling fan. And not only are y'all teaming together, you're actually the national tag team champ. So it's a big time in your career, and you're working for arguably the second biggest promoter in the whole country. It's come down to what is essentially a 2-horse race. Sure, the AWA and Bill Watts and World Class are still around, but it was really hard to compete with WTBS. It was not called the Superstation by accident. The market penetration there is not just a syndicated show here or there. And certainly Mid-Atlantic and Jim Crockett Promotions had that, but this is nationwide, baby. In fact, worldwide. I mean, folks abroad were seeing what you guys were doing.
Absolutely. And you know, if you go back and listen to the last couple of podcasts, we've been skipping around, you know, all over the country. You know, Jim Crockett Promotions is trying to figure out with that new television where it's going and what the immediate, you know, effects are and where are some good towns. And, you know, we're kind of been skipping around. They're just trying to figure, okay, we've got that television that goes everywhere. Now, what are the markets that are still hot, left over from either Georgia Championship Wrestling or whatever? So a lot of it, you know, exploratory work going on at this time. What is this particular TV? What is the date? Do you have that there?
We're going to be talking about June 1st, 1985. This is where we had the whole Brett Sawyer thing, and we sort of teased that before, but what a segment it was. I believe it's a singles match with you and Larry Clark, but after the bout, that's when things really come to a head. Let's actually go ahead and take a listen right now. This is a clip from Arn Anderson versus Larry Cook that would have aired on June the 8th, but it was filmed on the 1st, I believe.
In the ring now, a man, Brett, you've been talking about, Arn Anderson.
He's a rugged individual, and he's very good. You know, he wouldn't be wearing that strap around his waist, but I'm just here, you know, just to look things over. And they tried to take my brother's eyesight, which I said before is your eyesight is you cannot get back.
Well, now we see that.
So we've got Brett Sawyer on commentary, and of course the match is going to start here, and I don't expect that this will be a long bout, but I've always been fascinated by the way you used to build heat with this type of situation where you've got a guy who you're essentially in a blood feud with, and he's doing commentary just a few feet away from you in a studio. How do you make that believable where, man, I hate this guy, but boy, I just can't wait to get my hands on him. He's about 10 feet away from me.
Well, the rules and the laws and the regulations, you know, that govern not only the company you work for, NWA, but Turner Broadcasting has rules, and you can't just come out and interrupt everything anytime you want was the idea that you had to, you know, if you're on a promo and a guy's in the ring, for the most part, you got to be a professional and not get involved in it. Of course, we know that from time to time that it's not the case.
Well, let's take a listen here. You've just picked up the win with the Gourd Buster, and this is where things start to pick up.
Down, and the winner of the match is Arn Anderson, winning the match over Larry Clark. He is very cocky. Arn Arn Anderson, wait a minute. Here he comes. Arn Anderson.
Here he.
Now, Brett Sawyer's still here, and here comes the winner of the match, Arn Anderson.
I want to know something. Dennis the Menace, you're out here looking so pretty and cute with your chubby little cheeks. Where's Big Brother at, huh? Where's One-Eyed Buzz? Where's the One-Eyed Mullet, huh?
Probably taking a shower.
Yeah, if you smell his breath lately, he needs to shower and to brush his teeth a little bit, too. Where's he at? That's what I want to know. He's out here flapping his jaw about what he's going to do to Anderson. Where is he?
Taking a shower.
Yeah, he's taking a shower. Take a shower.
Oh, my goodness, he blindsided him.
Right. Some of me. Let's get it out here.
I really don't think he could have done that.
So you approached Brett Sawyer and slapped him. Sawyer took a bump. The podium fell over, and now he's taken his polo shirt off and climbed into the ring in jeans. You're coming after him in your full ring gear, and he very quickly has gotten on top of you and now throwing some punches. You guys are rolling around. Chaos has ensued. And just to remind everybody, the One-Eyed Mullet, as you called him, as his kinfolk, Buzz Sawyer. This is Brett Sawyer. This is a pretty hot angle here.
And they are legitimate brothers. You can just look at the facial features to see that, you know. And Buzz was the bigger brother. Brett was the younger brother. And that's a direct path to get to Buzz in those days if you wanted to attack little brother, which Brett was a talented, you know, wrestler besides that. But, you know, Buzz Sawyer was a man eater.
You've just thrown Brett to the outside of the ring. You're standing over him now on the concrete. Looks like you're going to be setting up. Oh, and there it is. The gourd buster on the concrete floor. Obviously, that's a big move. And then, bam, there it is. The big punt that you had teased. Down goes Sawyer. He's just fallen like he's been shot. What a big moment in your career. You know, you start the fight, and then, man, you finish the fight in a big way.
The man in the head will end most scraps, I would imagine. It did this one. It was something that I didn't do all the time, obviously, or even regularly. You know, you're taking a chance there. You know, that could end up being worse than what I even intended. I had evil intentions for that, but you certainly don't want a guy to be crippled, I guess is the right word. That's not the right way to handle anything, but you know, it got pretty heated and that happened, and that went in my memory banks and would be pulled out years, decades later as a gift to Randy Orton.
Of course, Dick Slater comes out and makes the save, and you guys jump in the ring for just a moment, and then we're going to hear from Dick.
Let me tell you something right now. This is going to come to an end. This is going to come to an end. I wasn't going to get myself involved. That's family you're messing with there. Now you're trying to take the eyesight from one person. And now what are you trying to do? What are you trying to accomplish? Well, let me tell you something right now, Arn Anderson. And you look at me real close, and you believe this, and you better believe this well. The whole story is an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. If you want to go after somebody, well, you're going to get it. Because you're going to get it as strong and as heavy as you want to get you out. So when it comes down to it, I don't care where you gentlemen are. I'll show you what it takes. I'll show you how to be nasty.
Dick Slater.
So strong words from Dick Slater there, who made the big save. This is a big moment for you on TV. And of course, you're going to go on to have so many big moments. But at this point, this has got to be one of the biggest moments. I mean, this is the biggest television audience, and to establish, you know, great performers and a hot angle. So talk me through what this must feel like for you as a young guy.
Well, number one, on the legitimate shoot, Dick Slater was my idol. I wanted to pattern myself after him. He was 100% legitimate killer in and out of the ring. They were the biggest opponents, he and Buzz, that I had been involved in my career, highest profile. And I knew it going out on that television, what had just happened, you had a sense, you had a feeling that maybe we went too far, maybe we didn't just far enough. But you knew that angle now had a personal issue. And as you know, Conrad, growing up as a wrestling fan, that's the one with the personal issue is the one that captured the audience, captured their, hey, I got to go see that. And your emotions were wrapped up in it. Wasn't just on the books, a good wrestling match on paper. Now it had something you could sink your teeth into. And they were high profile opponents, Dick Slater and Buzz Sawyer, myself and Ole Anderson, with a personal issue, man, it's time to, let's get with it.
And we're not done on this single episode, by the way. Ole is not here for this show, but Arn is, and he's going to come out and he's got some things to say about what happened earlier in the day. Let's take a listen.
Now, one half of the national tag team champion, Arn Anderson, and you really, really have made some people very, very angry.
Tony Schiavone, Ole Anderson is not here today, so he sent me down to once again represent the Andersons, as we always do in high fashion. Now then, Brett, so you want to come out here with your pretty little dimples, your hair all combed, looking so sweet. You want to come down because we roughed Big Brother Buzz up. Well, brother, Ole, wherever you're at, you're watching this, I know you are wallowing with pride, because not only did I bust little Brett up, they sent out Buzz and Dick Slater. They're going to try it 3-on-1 this time. You understand what I'm saying? Well, let me explain something to you, Slater. Buzz, Brett Sawyer, Dusty Rhodes, Magnum TA, and I'm not forgetting you, Manuel Fernandez. Anytime you want to come after these, right here, let's get a close-up of these right here. You do it in the ring. You don't send 3 out on 1. You come out face us 2-on-2. We are the first family. You're out here talking about family. The Andersons are the first family. If you want these, you got to earn them. And anybody that comes to get what I got is going to get the same thing. Cute little Dennis the Menace, Brett Sawyer got. Tony Schiavone, it's been your pleasure once again.
That's from Arn Anderson. We are coming right back.
So that is something that you filmed on June 1st. It would air on June 8th. And we know years later, as Jim Crockett would continue to grow and prosper, they would record that morning and man, it would be live that afternoon. But that is not the case here. We're still filming a week ahead, but man, what a big moment. And you mentioned the punt and the historical significance that you're eventually going to pass that on to Randy Orton. But how did you come up with the punt? Was that something you did on your own, or was this advice from somebody in the back who said, hey, what if?
It's just something popped into my head. I've always been a proponent, and it took me a while to figure it out on promos and matches and angles. Do something that you are confident you can do well, whether it's physically or as a promo. Less has always been more. And if you do something that is 100% believable, credible, executed, 100% of your ability, you don't need to do 10 things. Just do 1 or 2 things well.
I feel strongly that saving money is important. If it's not something we worry about now, boy, we are really going to worry about it later. And I want to help you get out of debt faster and do it with cheaper monthly payments. I'm talking to you if you're in a 30-year loan. Now is the time to take years off of your loan. We're routinely helping our listeners cut 5, 10, even 15 years off their loan. And you can do this without perfect credit, with no money out of pocket. You've just got to start at savewithconrad.com.
Well, and I had this picture in my mind, if you've ever seen, some cowboy bar fights and seen a man get kicked in the head, punted in the head with a pair of cowboy boots, man, it's like a watermelon exploding. And it's one of those things that ends pretty much every fight. And that's what I had in mind for this one. And it was not some, 450 off the top to the floor with a half twist. It was just a punt in the head. But it was the initiation of what would be a very violent personal issue. So it worked.
Was there anybody who was nervous about you doing the punt? I mean, obviously you're a professional, but this is probably not something that you learned down at wrestling school, or is it?
Nope, absolutely not. And, it's one of those things that just pops in your head, and you go to execute it, and you try your best to, put some oomph in it. But again, you don't want to kill somebody. And there's that fine line, and it's all about execution. And that day, the execution was there, and it absolutely worked, because I think Buzz came out screaming like a banshee. And, to see about his brother, he saw and felt exactly that, something extraordinary had just happened, and not in a good way. So if you see what plays, I believe plays after that, is Buzz is running around like a crazy man. I got my bag and got out of there, because when you've done enough, and when you've done too much. And when you've done too much, sometimes exiting the area is the smart thing to do.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.